Don't know who is the one enemy. Hell nah, ain't no one scared of advocacy. Hell nah, I'll stop a greed up, just you wait and see. That's right, you can't stop me.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
A lot of it never made tape. If it did
It's
happen.
kind of a hidden gem in a way.
So yeah, so that kind of gave it a bonus. Now we're in our top 5, moving right along. A match that I think there is a difference, a disparity in opinion here. Ric Flair versus Tom Zink from February 2nd.
Yep.
This was number 2 on my list for me.
Well, you start off.
This was this is number 23 on my list.
Or was it on yours, Jess?
I think it was 4.
But you love this match, Adam. It was
this match was number 1 on my list until I saw the 6-man tag. Mainly because just Flair and Zink went out there and just tore it up. I mean, Flair was chopping Zink so hard that his chest was bleeding.
Yeah.
And after I saw this match, I was like, whoa, there is nothing on these shows that can top this.
Wow.
Until I saw that 6-man tag, and I was just absolutely blown away how good the match was.
See, for me, just to give the opposite side of the spectrum, the reason it came in at 23, I actually had Flair Rich, and I also had Flair Gibson, which didn't get a lot of love above this. The reason why is because clearly, to me, this was a great demonstration of a carry job. Flair led this guy high like you would a dog on a leash. And clearly it was obvious to me. But the thing is, Zink in tag matches is more in his element. He's a lot more confident, and that self-esteem, that self-confidence shows in his work when he's in there with Pillman. But here, you know, he's like a deer in headlights. You know, Flair chopped the shit out of him, and you know his chest bled. And you know, like I mentioned in my notes, it reminded me of that visage bleeding on Luke Wilson's house. The Henry Fool was here film. I don't know if any of you
all know.
Yeah, it's on my Netflix queue. You know, I didn't want to see this make top 10, but it did, and so clearly, you know, there's something in it that didn't connect with me. But you also went high with it.
Yeah, I'd say the thing that I liked is that almost as
The
what you said, it was emotion, but it was a classic Ric Flair match to me, and that's what really pulled me in. Zink, you know, obviously isn't the level of Flair, nowhere near.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of things where Zink pretty much kept his offense purely simple. You know, it's a Ric Flair normal match, but the crowd loved it. You know, there's a lot of near falls, and it just reminded me so much of like, this is why people love Ric Flair.
Yeah.
It's a match like this.
Yeah, was it good?
Number 4.
I want to go back and watch it again now.
Hey, please take it. Steiner Brothers against Doom was number 4. This match was from what, March?
March 30th, yeah.
And this match I just watched last night.
Wow.
Yeah, I came. Our deadline was approaching fast, you know, rapidly, and I had a couple discs left to spin through. And I saw this match, and I was like, oh my god, this shattered, you know, this immediately shot up, I believe. Let me check quickly here. I don't know if you guys know offhand where you had it. I know Adam had it at 6.
I think
I had it at 4. And
I had it at 14.
Okay, well, the thing is, again, going back to the Road Warriors bout with Doom, the crowd was electric here, probably the biggest reaction to one single move in the entire run of 1990 was the Frankensteiner that was done. My wife was in the room. I told her, I said, this is so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And because they replayed it, and you know, it's on such a big dude. It's so physically impressive, and yeah, this crowd is just molten. And if I had a DeLorean or some sort of time machine, the first place I would go would be the Cobb County Civic Center, and I would see, you know, Marietta, Georgia, and I would watch this live, and I would be there with you know, a Frankfurter and a Diet Cola, and I'd be rocking out with this, man.
Probably a Steiner's tee.
Norman the Lunatic tee, actually. You know.
See if we can get that painting off of him.
The fancy one he was sporting on.
The Raphael nose.
Yeah.
One thing important about this match that's not we should note is that it was a title win.
Yeah.
Doom actually became champion.
That's
in
right.
this match. In a really unexpected spot.
Historical snippets.
What's cool about that Frankensteiner is if any of the Steiner's matches that you watch, Jim Ross is so hyped when he's calling these matches that he's always looking for it. Like you know. And so when it hits in that match, not only is the crowd loving it, Jim Ross is loving it.
It's like switching gears, you know. It's
exactly.
Just boom.
It was a great, and those two teams have had a long, you know, they had a long story.
Oh yeah, they've had some fantastic matches, and this was definitely one of them.
Number 3, Jess. As Dusty Rhodes would say.
Well, is the fix in?
Come on, man. You gotta do it.
Give it to us.
Oh, the fix is in, brother.
Alright, the fix is most definitely in. This match, the reason I shut it over to you, Jess, is because this was your number 1. It also ranked highly on both of our lists. And
it was my number 1. It was
Great Muta and Arn Anderson. I don't think we've...
the Great
said
Muta
that yet.
versus Arn Anderson TV
From
title
the,
switch.
January 12th. episode.
Double A. This was number 2 on my list as soon as I saw it, actually. 1, I'm an Arn Anderson fan. 2, who isn't a Great Muta fan?
Right.
This is Muta in his prime. This
Yeah.
guy looked like he was made of, like 100 slinkies. Like, he had so much movement, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Arn Anderson was in his element. He was a face. And how hot was he as a face?
Yeah, no, it was very cool.
The people were
It was
loving it.
refreshing.
Yeah, I don't remember his
I actually
face
think
at all.
in my
No.
notes I called this a breath of fresh green misted air, and it was because this is one of the few matches off this TV show that felt higher caliber. It felt,
Kind of felt like, wow, this shit was probably on a pay-per-view.
yeah. So it was a terrific match, and and Muta's movements. One of the things that I really watched closely on this, because there's so many matches, a lot of squashes, is I watched body language, and I watched the selling and the psych, and a lot of guys, a lot of these weekend warrior indie types, they brought up. It's fun watching them, but nobody had more interesting physical movements than Great Muta.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that, he was like Austin Aries on a 12-pack of Mountain Dew and, some horse drinks or something. Like, he's so cool, so fluid to watch.
He could
Real
hit
treat.
he could hit a jump back kick within a snap second. He did it throughout the whole match.
This was a great match.
And he had a mystique about him.
And if you want to watch it, you can watch this. This match is actually available on WWEClassics.com.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So if you sign up for their service, I'm not plugging it by any means, but if you sign up for
You're
their
not
service,
making-
you can watch this match because they have it featured.
Speaking of Anderson and Muta, our number 2 match.
Yep. Big 6-man tag, the Horsemen, the Face Horsemen,
Yeah.
Sting, Flair, and Arn against what was left of the J-Tex, Muta, Buzz Sawyer, and the crippled Dragon Master.
The Dragon Master, I remember seeing my notes, was about as entertaining, about as quarter as entertaining as Michael Jackson's score. It was a direct line from my dossier.
This match was number 1 on my list
So please divulge.
because of the insane crowd heat. I mean, these 6 guys were going 100 miles an hour, non-stop, and just, the crowd was going insane. Zink and Flair was number 1 on my list for the longest time, and then I saw this, I was like, wow. I was completely blown away when I watched this.
You have 6, well, okay, 5, really talented performers.
Sorry, DM.
And, they created something really special here. And, everything clicked.
Yeah.
The work itself was fast-paced, high energy, high octane. The crowd was eating it up with spoons. This is by far, I think, the best crowd heat that anything got this year on the show.
And it's just going back to the Face Horsemen. It's something history doesn't really show us a lot of it. We got a good sampling of it here, and it was just tremendous.
Yeah.
I mean, they just connected in a way with the fans against, and again, Muta was on target. Sawyer was the crazy guy he needed to be. How many errant brawls broke out at ringside during this?
So many.
Yeah.
It felt more complete and more original than almost any WWE hardcore brawl in the last. Muta?
Black Scorpion? Our number 1